Alright, hello YouTubers. I know it's been another like month or two since I've done a Wargame European Escalation video, but I'm here with you today with another Wargame European Escalation video, and this is a 4 vs 4 on, this map is called Airfield, I believe. And it's been a very long time. The last time I did a game, it was in beta, so the game has changed a lot since I last recorded, and the mini patches have come out. Tanks can now shoot farther, anti-tank guided missiles are more powerful, so I'll try to run you through what's changed since then. Right here you can see me composing, this is now my typical Warsaw Pact army, where I get 4 Scott 2A Czech APCs with 2 machine guns, and they have Visetkari elite Czech infantry in them, 4 T-62 MVs, which are really well armored tanks that can fire Shenska laser-guided missiles, anti-tank missiles that are very accurate, so they're very good at long-range firepower. And I get T-64 BMs, which they're just decent all-around tanks. They have a 125mm gun, anti-tank guided missiles, but they're not as good as the T-62s, and they have okay armor, but they can't really take hits all that well. So, but they're good nonetheless. I get a PT-90 for recon. It's really good recon. It's well armored and it can defend itself well too if needed. Then I get Tunguskas, which a lot of people say that Strops and Bucks are better AA, but I like the Tunguska just because it's well balanced. It has the guns and the missiles are pretty accurate if you know what you're doing. Same with the and then the guns are good close in. I get BTR-70s with Concurs teams in them, anti-tank guided missile teams. I don't vet them because usually I don't have enough points, but you can if you want, and it's probably a good idea to vet them if you do. I also get Concurs Jeeps, which are basically like tow Jeeps, the NATO equivalent. They're very good, very cost-effective units that are great at taking out tanks and armored vehicles, and they don't cost a lot at all, so I recommend that you use them. They're very cost-efficient. And I get 4 BMP 1Ps, which again are pretty cost-efficient units. They're BMPs, which have the 73mm gun, Grom cannon, and the Concurs missile. And the Concurs missile is really good at taking out tanks, just like on the Jeep, and the gun is decent against all targets. They come with the cheap. I get them with the cheap Czech Moto Strelci, which are good against tanks because they have very powerful and accurate RPGs. But against infantry, their firepower is pretty bad. So, you know, but nonetheless, I still like them for their all-around capability, and they're generally good at doing their job. So, my ally right here bought a lot of Malkas, artillery, Sturm S, self-propelled anti-tank guided missile vehicles, and yeah, artillery support. And over here on the other flank, my ally got a bunch of Shelkas for AA, BTRs, AA, and a lot of T-55s and T-72s. And this guy over here got command vehicles and Hind and some more T-72s and whatnot. So the game should start shortly here. Yeah, right there. Okay, we finally phased in. Get 1 FOB, and generally what I do, since I'm on the left side of this map, I just move all my units into the center point, as it's called, center. And my ally begins to fire with his Malkas. Malkas are very accurate 203mm artillery. I'd recommend using them if you ever play Pact. They're good at doing their job. They're very powerful and can easily destroy stuff if you're not careful. So they're very good at doing what they do. And I'm just moving my guys along the road here. I'll get a closer look so you can see the nice graphics. The game really does have good graphics, but a lot of the time you just don't notice it because you're too busy battling it out, you know. You see it's just the glorious Soviet armor just rushing along the streets there, and a little command vehicle, be careful it doesn't die kind of thing, and big artillery battle going on in the center. I think this guy's sending in a bunch of Hueys and landing some infantry in the middle of the map with some Sheridan support. It looks like, and this is from my perspective, by the way. Although I am playing a replay, this is from my perspective, so you'll only see what me and my allies see. He's got some deltas in here, and I don't know why he would let off deltas in the middle of a field. This is a very bad idea, because as soon as you do this, you're able to get artillery and killed. As you can see right there, my ally designated it, so never put deltas in the middle of a field. Like this. Always put them in a forest or behind enemy lines. Also rushing up his 8 Sheridans, which is a pretty significant force, might I add, and I'm just moving my units over here. I try to support him in the middle, but generally I'm worried about him making a move on the left, which he never does, but how was I supposed to know that? Because here the Sheridans are shooting at the Scots, which have some Motostrelci in them, I'm assuming. We'll see what happens in this battle here. He lets them out. Oh yeah, they're bad over their poles, okay. So yeah, they fire their RPGs, and they blow up 2 Sheridans, which is pretty good, because these Spados are worth like nothing at all. They have And right there you can see you got these Tugnuskers are running low on ammo and the stack close Con missiles, and the Deltas are trying to get them into the town to do some damage, which I can understand. And over on the right, these T-55s and T-72s are just engaging with AMXs and whatnot, and they're getting shelled, but it's going pretty well. And on the far right here, J-Bob has a lot of guys set up, but there seems to be not much resistance. Oh, and there's 4 Martyr 1A1s. Martyrs, as you probably know, are very, very effective, and with their ATGMs and autocannons, they can make short work of tanks, and they come with Panzer Grenadiers, which are very, very good all-around infantry that are lethal against, that have like 10 power, 2 HE, or 10 accuracy, 2 HE power assault rifles, which can really wreck people with, like in other infantry up close. And they have Milan ATGMs, as you can see, we're shooting them right there. So yeah, they can really take out tanks quickly, as my ally learned, lost all of his T-55s and T-72s to that. And now there's Leopard 2s incoming, and I don't have to tell you that Leopard 2s are very deadly tanks with accurate 120mm guns, and my ally almost has nothing to compensate for that, so that's not too good. Over here, there's a very large amount of Jaeger running across an open field, M113s and Sheridans, and my ally lost most of his stuff, so that wasn't too good. I have my Concurs teams here finally starting to shoot back at the M113s, but only one of them is actually shooting, and I have Concurs jeeps over here. I don't actually know who they're aiming at. Oh yeah, they're aiming at the M113s as well, I guess. But they quickly went out of range, so that was a wasted missile. These 203s are firing danger close there. Ooh, yeah, that hurt. The Malkas just fucked so many of those infantry with that up. More of them died. Yep, that is exactly why you do not want to put infantry in an open field like that. It's just not a good idea. He's trying to land these super Chinooks here, which is also a very bad idea when you're under artillery fire. And he's got a Hind shooting at the M113s and using his gun and rockets, and another Hind over here too. So these guys are just having a very, very bad day. Over on my flank, I'm not doing anything right now, but I will later. You'll see. Over here, my ally is trying to recover from getting his ass kicked and shot. He's Concurs teams over in Constantine, blowing up or sniping various vehicles over here. So Constantine is very well secured, but Jod is not. So, and there's a Cobra over here. It seems, I don't know what it's doing. It seems to be landing. I wonder if the UAZ will shoot it. Oh no, I don't think you can see it. Anyway, over here the Hinds continue to pound the M113s, Sheridan, Jaegers. And for Hinds, I'd recommend using the P variant. The P variant's pretty balanced. It has a good autocannon, powerful rockets, and a few ATGMs. Although if you need to destroy a lot of tanks, you're going to have to buy the most expensive P variant. The earlier variants, like the D variant, are just not effective at destroying tanks. They're more anti-infantry support. This guy's choice of unit, Jaeger, they're good when they're in forests, of course, and Sheridans in general are okay, but I don't know. In the situation that he used the Sheridans in, they're better for long-range fire support. As a general-purpose tank, they're not very good. And Jaegers themselves, though, are very good infantry, like, compared to, they're probably some of the best German infantry, and they can easily go toe-to-toe with any Warsaw Pact soldiers. I don't have to tell you about how effective Delta are. The Delta are only effective when you insert them behind enemy lines. Like, what he should have done is inserted them around to Anna from the left and use them to assassinate artillery pieces, which is a very good strategy that I've used many times before. But just sending them into the middle like that, not very smart. Over here, yeah, my ally had T-72Bs. I don't use the T-72 myself, but it's pretty balanced with its ATGM and its well-powered gun. I don't use it myself. It's fast too. It can shoot on the move, but personally I don't like it. Here we have some starships, which again are good long-range fire support with their big cannon and their Shiliga missiles. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they have horrible armor, so they're not good at battles. And he has M42 Flak Panzers, which are basic AA. They're about the cheapest. They're the cheapest you can get. But so yeah, and then my ally points out that he's kind of getting raped over in Jod. It's funny because these Japards were shooting at Shelkas, which is very strange. I don't know, Japards versus Shelkas. Doesn't happen very often. So yeah, this stuff is getting shelled to shit now, and he's just, for some reason, he's just leaving his tanks here, which again is not a very smart thing to do. And all of his Black Panthers die, and these starships are taking extremely heavy damage. Yeah, no, don't do this. Don't just leave your stuff sitting here. This was not a very, very smart thing to do. I'll tell you that. And then they all died right there. So so this guy's forces pretty much just got raped due to multiple Malkas. Malkas. Yes, more Malkas here. So yeah, we have a lot of Malkas. We have like 12 Malkas, which could be classified by some people as artillery spamming, and I kind of agree. I hate it when people spam artillery, but the worst thing when it comes to artillery spam is probably Smirch spam. Smirch spam is by far the worst because it's just like, no, it's extraordinarily powerful and way too accurate in my opinion. So it can, you know what, I've actually had my entire army get ruined by Smirches before, so it's not something I really like to do. Here I finally decide that I should be attacking, so I move up my T-62s, T-64s, and BMPs shortly because I'm kind of just sitting here. And this guy's bringing in OH-58CS, which are anti-aircraft helicopters. I don't know why, because my ally has AA in this area. And there's a lot of AH-1S Cobras, which are the cheap variant designed to just blow up lightly armored stuff, so they don't even have toes. But they have two kinds of rockets, which can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. My ally only has one Tunguska, and one Tunguska versus 4 Cobras isn't exactly a very smart thing. This 4 Hind is taking minigun fire. And AH-1S Cobras are actually good at taking out other helicopters if you know what you're doing. But right here, Mi-20 finally starts to shoot the missiles with this batch of the Cobra. And then Mi-24B starts to shoot back too with its nose cannon. Although the nose cannon is not very good against that. And then right there he takes an ammo box hit, which makes him lose all of his ammo, so that's not very nice. Tunguska manages to splash most of the Cobras, and right here I have some Tunguskas in this area shooting down more Cobras, so my Tunguskas helped with that. Right here there's artillery trying to blow up the Roland and the command vehicle, which was destroyed. There was a command vehicle right there. He's moving in Rakut and Jagdpanzer 1s, vetted. Personally I wouldn't use them because the SS-11 is a shitty missile, it's a really old shitty missile even if you vet them, so I'd recommend going with at least Rakut and Jagdpanzer 2s. Right here he has some Marder VTS-1s, which used to be overpowered. Until they nerfed these things were extraordinarily overpowered. They could do a lot of damage and were very fast, but now my ally's moving in some T-72Bs to help dispatch these Leopard 2s. There is a hill here though, so it's they'll have to get very close and they won't be able to reach their ATGM. But nonetheless, they still probably will be able to beat the Leopards. And there's a battle between the Motostrelci and the Fusiliers going on here. Fusiliers are okay infantry. I don't really rely on them all that often because the Motostrelci definitely have superiority in numbers, so they will win. But we'll see what happens with the T-72s. Oh, and right here they climb up right in front of the, oh my god, right in front of the Leopards. Oh Jesus, that's, and of course the T-72s and Leopard 2s point blank like that. The T-72 is not going to win. Oh, they blows up one Leopard 2. And Leopard T-72Bs generally cost less than, I think, a Leopard 2, so I'd consider that a victory, although it still would have been better if they managed to ambush them in this side. That would have been a lot better, but, you know, you can't win them all, so. I bought a T-80U as well. Of course, that's the heaviest 4-cell pack main battle tank in the game, and it's fitted with very accurate ATGMs and a powerful cannon, but it's useful in the role I'm about to employ it in, which you'll see soon. I realized that now, after looking at this, that I should have done more things earlier in the game to ambush Fedor, because he literally forgot about this side of the map, but only now I'm actually moving up my my tanks and whatnot. I just kind of leave my T-64s there for some strange reason, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Right here, more artillery is shelling the Marder VTS-1s and the 183 and the Roller 2 and whatnot. These T-72s did the job, and there is a T-80 here as well, which did its job. Over here there's some Fusiliers in the open, which are getting shot at by the Motostrelci. And over here I have my T-80U, which is managed to discover all of this stuff that I didn't know was there. And it's shooting back at the enemy forces, although it did take a hit from some stuff. I'm not really sure what though. Then my ally brings in some Blackhawks, I don't know why. They promptly start shooting with their machine guns. A lot of machine guns, might I add. Which I think is kind of stupid, because you're getting shot at by that many machine guns, and yet they still manage to land the Delta Force. what they have, and my T-82 dies. That kind of pissed me off there, because, I mean, how could they land under that heavy machine gun fire is what I want to know. And then I lose my T-62 F1s to these Delta squads, which kind of makes me angry, but how was I supposed to know he was just going to land on there? I thought I would have destroyed them for sure. That's one mechanic of the game I would kind of like changed, is they shouldn't be able to land like that. So anyway, I get my Visitari squads out here, and I dump my Scots, and the Delta Force will probably get raped, although I do take some casualties. I have my OSA AK over here, which managed to shoot down or hit a few of these Blackhawks, but they didn't die for some reason, despite getting hit by missiles. I don't know. And my Visitarian and whatnot are getting shelled, but I had to tell them to get back into the, or maybe not. Okay, no, never mind. Most of the Visitari actually died, but I still have the Scots. I actually charged them in here because I presume that he doesn't have any defenses, but he has all these helicopters just sitting around, which actually present a problem to me, and he has some anti-chim infantry over here in the forest, which was kind of an issue because I didn't know that that would be the case, because I thought he didn't really have a whole lot of defenses, but how was I supposed to know that? I only have one Scot left at this point, so I just tell the guys to get out before they die, but they don't really do a whole lot of damage. They managed to cripple a Huey, but that's about it. Right here I have my Concur's Jeeps taking casualties from 2 Challenger 1s, which are very heavily armored British tanks that I didn't know he had there. I managed to get a few hits on them though, and I do some damage, so I do lose my Concur's Jeeps though, so unfortunately that wasn't very cost effective, but I do a lot of damage, do a fair bit of damage to the Challengers. I buy another T-80U because I was pissed how my earlier one died. Right here though, I'm marching a squad of Visitari across the open terrain here, and I put them inside this building here, and you'll see later on how much damage they truly do. On the right flank, we don't really have much going on, just some heavy hogs. More Hueys, and I finally fully have eyes on this area. He's actually starting to shell my PT-90, which kind of pisses me off, but I finally remember my T-64s, I think, here in about a minute or two. I kind of forgot about them, unfortunately. This guy's starting to bring in a lot of M60A1 patents, which I don't know why, but he does. And I put my Visitari in these buildings here, and they proceed to do some stuff, which I will show you in a minute or two. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward through this a bit. Nothing really happens for this next area. On the right flank there's a little bit of helicopter action, but not a whole lot. In the middle here, my ally keeps trying to shoot down another OH-58 there, and with these Challengers he's trying to move up, but little does he know that there's Polish people standing right here with rocket launchers, so they'll be in for a surprise shortly. And these patents are getting shelled too. You'll want to see this. Right there, the Challenger's getting raped, and then there's another one here which just kind of stops awkwardly in front of the BMP squad and gets hit in the side armor by BMP-685s and dies. BMP-685s are quite interesting units actually, but I don't really use them too often. I'm bringing in my T-82 over here, and he blows up those Rangers, which were just kind of sitting there, firing their red eye at people, generally causing problems, so I get rid of them. This guy tries to bring in some AH-1E Cobras, but he's forgot that I still have my Tunguska's there for some strange reason, and now my ally's pushing up with his Spados and about a Havoc too. Yeah, these Cobras cause a bit of problems if I remember correctly, but if I turn off my missile on my Tunguska, but I try to re-enable them shortly. Yeah, right there I do. And those Cobras are destroyed. My T-80 doesn't only take superficial damage, which is nice. And, yeah, he continues to artillery spam, but as you notice, it's extraordinarily inaccurate, so I think that's due to the fact that, he didn't vet the Ori's battery. So my T-82 keeps routing here and actually takes damage from this heavy hog. It's kind of a problem. But, again, I blow up the heavy hog with some of my Tunguskas, which proceed to have like 1 million kills. And also, right here, my Visitari squad captured these MO2 critter supply trucks, which I think is hilarious. That one squad of infantry that I put there managed to do that. That was just kind of a joke, but in this forest, my ally realizes that there's a lot of stuff in there, so we start to shell that, and right over here we're starting to get their spawn area, but we still have heavily fortified mortar trucks and martyrs, so... And right here, my Visicari squad destroy these Ito Jeeps. I don't know. Okay, well, he gets one, which is pretty funny. Now they're veteran level 2, but they only have 5 RPGs, so they can't really do that much damage. And right here, my ally brings over his scouts that he reloaded with this Polish people, and brings with his Havoc for support. I believe that these scouts meet the same fate that my Visicari did earlier, though, and they die, so I'm just going to assume that, so... I don't quite remember, actually. Yeah, right there. Most of them die. And right there, yeah, my Visicari, they managed to blow up a Patton as they drive by, and they don't shoot back, which is pretty... Oh, I managed to blow up 2 Pattons, actually, with their 1 RPG. So they cause a lot of damage, those guys. And right here, this Havoc is providing support. My T-80 is getting hit by artillery. Right there, the tow jeep gets blown up by the attackers on the Cobra. That missile missed, unfortunately, and my T-80 just keeps routing. I don't know why. I still don't remember my BMPs or my T-64s, but I'll move them up eventually here. And right here, the Havoc keeps shooting at the Pattons, but misses. And with the stolen supply trucks, I proceed to resupply my OSA AK with missiles. And right here on the right, we generally just have a kind of a isolated battle. And I believe I lost a unit there, but I don't quite know where, because I heard the voice notification. And right here, my ally tries to move up his Havoc to destroy the landed humans that this guy just kind of has sitting around, and I'm trying to bring in my UAZ for recon. Because the only recon I have is the PT-90, and it's over here. I should really have put it on top of the hill. Oh no, actually I moved it because it was getting hit by artillery. So right here, then this guy tries to bring in a lot of more Pattons and a Roland, as well as a Black Panther. And my allies, Havoc has a lucky ammo box hit, but most of the Pattons are destroyed by the Visicari and the few missiles and rockets that they managed to, so, yeah, this Visicari manages to do a lot of damage. She managed to blow up the Roland too, and now they're level 4. These guys have destroyed like 8, they only have 8 RPGs, but they've destroyed 7 tanks with 7 rockets, which is pretty impressive. And right here, I finally move up my T-64s up into this forest, which I should have done a long time ago. And I just have a Topus there for recon so that I don't get ambushed. And right here, as well, this guy is just churning out Leopard 1A1s, which pretty much means that he's out of power. And M109A2s, which are very poor and inaccurate artillery pieces, but they're good for blowing up Motostrelki like this. So that's what you get for charging Motostrelki across an open field. But M109s are not very good otherwise, besides for that purpose. So my T-64s now have open season on their spawn. So with that, I managed to already blow up some tanks and Ito Jeeps. And pretty much my T-64s and T-62s are just going to wreck them as they drive by pretty much here. You'll see that Ito Jeep gets destroyed, and these Black Panthers try to futilely shoot at my T-64s. I don't know why. They all get destroyed. He tries to move an Ito Jeep into the forest to try and blow them up. I don't know who would do that, because that's a very dumb idea. Just roading here. And my T-64s start to get hit by some artillery, but it's not really much of a problem. Over here, the Concurs infantry begin to shoot at the M109s and Zippos in this area, but they all miss. But the M109s have started to get blown up, which is good. And right over here, he continues to buy various vehicles, despite not knowing that I have his spawn camped, and buy Zippos, which I do not know why. I'm bringing in a UAZ recon jeep though, because I want to have eyesight on the area. And my allies over here is T-60. Yeah, sorry about that there, but yeah, these T-64s, they're generally an okay unit for fire support, like just against tanks like 1A1s and such, but they don't have very good armor at all. Against ATGMs, they die very easily, although since the new patch, pretty much all tanks die easily to ATGMs, but still, it's they're good for general fire support. And yeah, right there, my friend disconnects from the game because of a crash or something like that. I don't know. Occasionally he has problems like that. Wargame is generally a pretty stable game though, and these most drunk in the open are kind of taking casualties, but they managed to still blow up that Leopard 1A1. I really would not recommend marching infantry in an open field like this, but in this situation it seems to work, even though they're getting pelted by auto cannons. I would not want to be those guys, but considering the vast amount of artillery support they have, and these martyrs and all of their everything are just getting pounded by dozens of 200 shells, I guess that's what yeah. And they managed to blow up most of the Panzers and martyrs with archers anyway, which is good, which is why they almost ran out. This one M1982 continues to run 106, which is the border, continues to be a problem though. And they're just kind of standing there, but he moves them into the forest in a second here to try and prevent them from to try and, like, you know, go get over the M109A2s to destroy the town. Right here he does. For some reason he chooses to shoot at the T-64s, which is a really dumb idea. As a matter of fact, why doesn't he just move them away? If I was this guy, I would move them away. I do not know why these people don't do that. These guys weren't the smartest in the world, but I thought this game was pretty interesting because it wasn't too long and whatnot. I have another one in which I'm going to record and upload hopefully soon, but no guarantees on that. As you know, as I say, I will upload more videos and then I don't upload for them for a long time. I'll admit that's kind of a problem with me. Right here he tries, this guy on back on my flank, he tries to move these Zippos into the woods and I managed to lose sight of them, unfortunately. But he actually does manage to retreat in them 109s though, finally, which I would have done a long time ago, but here come the T-64s now. And they're going to blow the crap out of these 4 M109s. Which for some they proceed to do, but one of them escapes with 1 bar of health, but then gets blown up by a 50 caliber. Or a machine gun. Yeah, 50 caliber. NBST. But besides that, and then at this point in the game, it's pretty much just rooting out the rest of their command vehicles that they have across the map, because most of their units have been destroyed and they're pretty much on the ropes. But yeah, that's it. This is my typical Warsaw Pact deck. Typical setup, one person runs artillery, I just get my typical deck. My deck works pretty well for all purposes, to be honest with you. I really don't have any problem with it. He seems to get the job done. I probably will have to make some accommodations in the future, changes, but for the most part it seems to work pretty well. This guy's trying to move up some infantry and Saracens. It's, I guess, some kind of a last-ditch maneuver. I don't know why. I would not use such a thing. Saracens are terrible armor and are not ATGM proof in the least, so then my Visidkari, these guys are probably the most ramble squad ever. Look at this, just standing in the middle of a completely destroyed village, just chilling out, maximum vetted. I've killed multiple people with RPGs and these cars are somehow intact. I don't know why, but everything else is fucking level. These guys are operators, Czech operators. Definitely of the highest caliber. And there's 3 guys standing in the middle of a forest here, I don't know why. But in general, this battle is pretty much over. There's, I think about 2 minutes left in this replay, I'm not 100% sure. But, or actually no, I think there's more like 5 minutes. We'll see. Yeah, my T-64s are taking fire from the Zippo. And they actually get stunned and routed. That is one thing that I really fucking hate, is when the stupid flame tank, which shouldn't do damage to tanks like this, manages to rout my 4 T-64s. No, that should not be happening. That just pisses me off. Right there, I finally blown up. He's trying to bring Saracens in, which would be a problem, because they would drop off infantry. But I managed to cut them down with tank fire before it would cause any real damage. Thank goodness. I do lose 1 T-64 because I got hit by a lucky law, but for the most part, I managed to blow them up, most of them up, and hit them with a lot of tank cannon fire. Right here attempts to get a TOW 2 helicopter, which would work in pretty much every other situation except this one, because my tanks are in the forest and really hard to see. And he tries to bring in 2 pads too. And if the guy seems to forget that I resupplied my OSA, which actually managed to get a lucky kill there. And he's moving up his patents as well. And I think they managed to blow up this Scot in a second here. No, it actually manages to get away, luckily. My T-64s are pretty damaged though, and he's brought in 4 more M60A1s. So that's kind of a problem, because that's a lot of M60 patents. And right now my ally has some, he's getting some rocket artillery. Yeah, he's the BM-21 Grads that he bought to shell this area. And they got a lot of stuff got blown up, but a lot got hit at least. But and my Czech operator squad is just kind of standing here while these tanks right here just duke it out. And he actually has some heavy hogs, which proceed to rocket the shit out of my T-64s, which are still alive because they're getting repaired by my Kolos, which is doing its job very well. But yeah, these heavy hogs are a problem. So I bring up my OSA AK here. But the OSA AK is extraordinarily inaccurate because it's not the AKM variant. I do manage to blow up one of the heavy hogs though, which was enough to make him go away. Then the last missile misses, unfortunately. I blow up more of the pads and he tries to come after my OSA with his heavy hog. Which doesn't have a whole lot of armor, and it actually does die, unfortunately, which kind of pissed me off. But then the heavy hog gets shot at by all the heavy machine guns in my tanks and quickly goes down. Managed to capture another supply truck from my Czech operator squad, so worked out hilariously well. I should have done something with my T-80, but I never do. But yeah, this Czech operator, if you could ever do something like this, like plant infantry in really strategic locations, infantry can do many more times their value in what they're doing. Like seriously, I just planted this guy here as kind of a joke, and I had no idea he would become so effective in the end. Like, it was ridiculous. So at this point, we've assassinated the command vehicles in Cheriton and Gregory, and we're just kind of basically shelling the shit out of them in the end. And I get some T-62s, so I'm just going to charge in there at this point. I think there's pretty much nothing left. And I never do anything with my BMPs, which I think was a very dumb idea. I have another squad of Isengard here, which managed to blow up another tank. Yeah, I regret not doing anything with my BMPs. They literally just sat there the whole game and could have helped out, I think. But you know, I was never really sure if they were going to push on this flank or not. I had no idea that they just kind of forgot about it. So right here, these paratroopers flying in at my 24 over squads of infantry is never a good idea. So it kind of just got destroyed. But yeah, the last of them surrenders, and yeah, that's basically it. It was a total victory for us, and the game went pretty well, I think. And I hope you enjoyed this Wargame European Escalation commentary. I will be making more shortly, and thank you for watching.